When food became scarce, I removed my armband and took my bicycle to a nearby farm to buy bread and potatoes for my family. I wasn't afraid of the Germans stopping me with my blonde hair. By the way, I changed the color now. With my blonde hair and green eyes, I didn't fit the stereotype of a Jew. But I was afraid that one of my Polish neighbors would turn me in. I was 14 years old. In 1941, all of the Jews were assembled in the town square, where we were separated by age and gender. My brother David and I were taken to the forced labor camp, Plaszow, Poland, where we didn't see our parents no more. In 1938, I would be 30 years before I could see my sister again. I was taken to a concentration camp, Plaszow, with the Jewish cemetery of Krakow, Poland. We were forced to use the tombstones from the graves to pave the streets of the camp. You may recognize the name from the movie Schindler's List. Among other things, we built railroads for the Germans. The Russians starting advancing, I was taken to Buchenwald, Germany. Buchenwald was one of the first and largest concentration camps built by Hitler. From that camp, we were marched to the city of Weimar, where we manually cleared the rubble after the Allied bombings. The British were bombing at daytime, the Americans were bombing at night. One time, while we were moving the debris, the air raid sirens went off. Our Nazi guards ran for cover, leaving us alone in the street. I ran into one of the nearby houses, looking for food, knowing people went to the bomb shelter. Whenever sirens went off, the people ran to the bomb shelters. I found that pot rose still on the stove. It was too hot to hold it. So I ripped off a piece of my shirt, took out the roast, and we shared with the rest of the prisoners.
And I'd like to congratulate and applaud our young people here today for your willingness to learn and your willingness to create. Real education is when you can look at the world in a little different way than you did yesterday. And so I applaud you for that, and I hope you keep learning, keep creating, and most of all on today's program, never forget.
I believe that there's nothing that I have witnessed that is so significant to have watched year in and year out teenagers sitting here riveted to this stage, because the messages are so unbelievable and so emotional, and something that's worth remembering and worth spending your time, even as a teenager, and all the important things going on in their lives. It's so emotional and powerful that I've watched them literally not move and watch the speakers. Because just as our speaker here, Mr. Silberman, sharing with us some periods, days, times of his life that were not comfortable, his sharing helps us remember. His sharing helps rivet in our mind the pictures that he, I'm sure, has that he can never forget.
We are in prayer today, a prayer to God to help us to make this place a better world. So I'll just like to use the Hebrew from a prayer that we do every time we remember someone who passed away, especially for the Holocaust. And it's called the Kaddish. And at the end of it, we say that the one who makes peace above should make peace upon all of us. So please rise. And I will sing it, and those who know can join me. Shalom Ibrahim.